Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the Neo Pro collection from OPI. So I received half of this collection from OPI and then I received the other half from HB Beauty Bar. I got the Infinite Shine ones from OPI and the regular line ones from HB Beauty Bar. I will link both those sites in the description box below, as well as their Instagrams and my Instagram, where you can see more swatches of everything from this collection. So with the two lines combined, I do have 12 polishes to look at today, and let's go ahead and get started. So first we have your full of Abalone, and this is a soft neutral with a blue to purple shimmer. So here's our first coat of your full of Abalone. This does have a good formula. I didn't have running, pulling, or staining. I am going to do 3 coats of this though, and it gets opaque, but it's not totally even. This is going to dry pretty glossy all on its own. I didn't have any brush stroking issues and no texture to finish. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have Unnatural, and this is a soft blushy pink with a blue to purple shimmer. Here's our first coat of Unnatural. The shimmer that's in this one does stand out better than the one in your full of Abalone, but it does have the same formula. It's a little bit streaky, but it does, I feel, get better opacity on 3 coats, but that could also be because it's closer to my skin tone. This again is going to dry glossy, and I didn't have issues with brush stroking. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have Olive for Pearls, and this is kind of a murky green that has a red to green shifty shimmer. So here's our first coat of Olive for Pearls. I think the particle shimmers that are in this one are different than the rest of this first half of the collection. They're a little bit bigger, so I feel like it does cover differently. You could use this one as a topper and it would be really beautiful over a darker color, but nothing is going to dry textured, be difficult to remove, or give you brush strokes. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have 2 Baroque Pearls, and this is a sky blue with a blue to purple shifting shimmer. Here's our first coat of 2 Baroque Pearls, and this one is also sheer. It does have to be built up, but the shimmer that's in here does stand off really nicely against this base color. This also has a good formula, no running, pooling, or staining. I also didn't have issues with brush strokes through the shimmer in this. This is also going to dry glossy and nothing will be difficult to remove, so there is 3 coats. Up next we have Love or Luster, and this is a grapey, kind of dusty grapey purple base with a pink to purple shifty shimmer. Here's our first coat of Love or Luster. This one I feel covers probably the best of the first half of this collection. It is still going to have to be built up, but I do think it being the darkest color, you could probably get away with 2 coats on this. The shimmer that's in here, it stands out really beautifully. Again, I didn't have issues with brush stroking on this one, even though there is such a high shimmer content, and it will dry glossy. So there is 3 coats. And lastly for today we have Glisten Carefully, and this is a soft lilac purpley pink with a purple to pink shifty shimmer. And this is not the last one, but here's our first coat of Glisten Carefully. This one does just have a wash of color on the nail. I think with a thin first coat, this could be a really beautiful, just naked manicure kind of look on 1 coat. But again, I am going to build it up on 3 coats, no brush stroking issues. It will dry glossy and it won't be difficult to remove. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have Shellebrate Good Times, and this is a buff pearl. Here is Shellebrate Good Times, and this one, the formula on the second half of this collection is a little bit thicker than the first half that was cringy, but Again, they're not difficult to work with, but they do leave brush strokes. So if you don't like that, you could sponge on your final coat of these or work in straight strokes. But there is 2 coats. Next up we have Pretty in Pearl, and this is a nude leaning blush pearl. Here is Shellebrate Good Times and Pretty in Pearl next to each other, just so you can see the slight difference in color. Here's our first coat of Pretty in Pearl. Now the second half of this collection also covers better. I did get full coverage on most of these in 2 coats. I know pearl finishes aren't everybody's favorite, but I do think they have a classy, elegant place in the nail world. So there's 2 coats. Up next we have Shellmates Forever, and this is a lilac pearl. Here's our first coat of Shellmates Forever. I think this is probably the most sheer in the second half of this collection. I will say with these pearly polishes, you can see any kind of mistakes that are in your nails, so bear that in mind. I did do 3 coats for this, and it will dry glossy and it won't be difficult to remove. So there is 3 coats. Next up we have Did You See Those Mussels, and this is a lighter blue pearl. Here is Did You See Those Mussels. Again, this one is a little bit more sheer on this first coat, but it is more opaque than the last one. You are going to have some brush strokes through the shimmer, and that will hang around as it dries. This will be glossy all on its own. I would recommend a top coat just to keep your manicure lasting though. So there is 3 coats. Next up we have 2 pearls in a pod, and this is a kind of dusty olivey green but gray pearl. Here's our first coat of 2 pearls in a pod. Again, you are going to have that brush stroking. If you don't like that, you could sponge on your final coat. I would personally rather have brush stroking. I will do anything in my power to not have to sponge things on. I feel like it just makes an unnecessary mess even with a latex barrier. But there is 2 coats. And lastly for today we have Just a Hint of Pearl-ple, and this is a purple pearl. And here is Just a Hint of Pearl-ple. Formula is again smooth and easy to work with. You are going to have brush stroking both when it's wet and when it's dry, so I would recommend working in straight strokes. This will dry glossy and it won't be difficult to remove. So my favorite of all 12 is Olive for Pearl. My bottles that came from OPI just say shade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is shade 6 for me, but I'm pretty sure it's called Olive for Pearl. I think this is beautiful both on its own, but it's also the only one in the collection that I could also layer over a black and get a different effect, and it was also really, really beautiful. So Olive for Pearl / shade 6 was my favorite. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this collection. Let me know what your favorite was from the video. Let me know if you've already picked any of these up or if you plan to. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.